Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another tutorial. In this video, we will see how to deploy and set up Ubuntu server in a few steps on the Cherry Servers platform. Cherry Servers provides both bare metal and virtual private servers, each with shared or dedicated server solutions. Now for demonstration, we are going to deploy a VPS or a virtual private server, and depending on the workloads or server requirements, you can also opt for a dedicated server and follow the same steps. Now, as you all know, Cherry Servers is a leading European cloud infrastructure provider that offers private and secure cloud infrastructure to small and medium businesses at a cost-effective fee. Now, to follow along, you need two things. First and foremost, you need a Cherry Servers account, and secondly, you need a Linux workstation from which you'll connect to the newly deployed server. So with that out of the way, let's get our hands dirty and start deploying Ubuntu server on the Cherry Servers platform. Now the first step, we are going to generate and upload the public SSH key on the Cherry Servers platform. But before we do so, we need to generate the SSH key pair, which includes both the private and the public key pairs. Alright, now to get started, access the terminal on your Linux workstation and generate an SSH key by running the command ssh-keygen, then pass the -c option. Now this allows you to add a comment in your key for easy identification. So in our case, we are going to add the comment Cherry Servers. Of course, you can provide your own preferred comment. All right, now hit enter. So this will walk you through a series of prompts, as you can see. Now we are prompted to enter a file in which to save the key. So I'm going to go with the defaults and hit enter. So this will save the key in the provided file. All right. Now you are prompted to enter the passphrase. So we don't want any passphrase. So I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to confirm again by hitting enter. All right. So once the SSH key has been generated, you're going to see the following output on your terminal. So this confirms that the SSH key pair has been successfully generated. All right, so now I'm going to clear the screen. Now the SSH key pair is saved in the .ssh directory, which is a hidden directory on your home folder or home directory. And to confirm this, you can run the command ls-l a. Now the -a flag allows you to view the hidden directory. So we are going to grep the SSH directory. Okay, and here you can see it's a directory that is prefixed with a period or a dot, so meaning that it's a hidden directory. All right, now let's see the contents of the directory. So we're going to use the ls-l, then followed by the path of the SSH directory. So this is the path of the SSH directory. So as you can see, we have two keys. We have the first one, which is ID_RSA here. All right, so this is the private key, and then the second one, which has an extension of .pub, is the public key. All right, now let's check the contents of the public key, which we are going to later on copy to the Cherry Servers platform. So we're going to use the cat command and check it out. So this is ID_RSA.pub. All right, so these are the contents of the public key. Next, I'm going to copy the contents of the public key starting from this point here. So I'm going to copy the entire key up to there. All right, so I'm going to right click and select copy. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to click on the login button to log in to my account. So this takes you to the client portal where you'll be required to log in with your email address and password. All right, so here I'm going to provide my PC's PIN to proceed. Okay, so here I have my email and password. Then I'm going to click login. So once you do so, there is a confirmation code that will be sent to your email address, and you're going to need to provide the code in order to proceed. So here I'm going to enter the code as sent to my email address. Okay. So now I'm going to hit enter or click verify. So as you can see, the portal is now logging me into my account. And here we are. So now the next step is to paste the SSH key. So you're going to need to come here, just next to your avatar, click on the drop down arrow, then navigate to the SSH keys section. All right. So press escape. Okay. So here you're going to see the add SSH button. All right. So you're going to need to click on it. Okay, so here there are two parameters that you need to provide. We have the key label and the key. So for the key label, you can add or you can specify your preferred key label. So in our case, we are going to provide Ubuntu servers. Of course, you can provide any name you feel like. Okay, so here for the key, we are going to paste the key that we just copied. So I'm going to right click and select paste. Okay, so as you can see, we have pasted the public key. So to save it, simply click on add SSH key. And as you can see, the key is being added. And from the notification here, you can see that the SSH key was successfully added. Okay, now with that out of the way, the next step is to deploy the Ubuntu server. So see you shortly. With the SSH key already in place, the next step is to deploy Ubuntu server. So to continue, on the menu section, click on servers. So this will take you back to the home page. All right. Now to deploy a new server, simply click on the deploy new server button here. Okay. So this takes you to the page where you define the various parameters that will be attributed to your server. Okay, so here you can see the various regions which you can deploy your server. So by default, the EU Node 1 in Lithuania is pre-selected. So we are going to go with that. Then down below, you are going to select the server type. So as you can see, we have dedicated servers and virtual servers. So in this video, we are going to deploy a virtual server. So here we are going to select a virtual server with shared resources. Okay, and then we are going to select the cheapest one, which is Cloud VPS 1. All right, so I'm going to click that also. All right, so since we are deploying Ubuntu server, we are going to come here for where it's indicated Ubuntu. So by default 22.204 is pre-selected, and we are going to go with that. All right, so before clicking on pay and deploy, you need to scroll down here, and you can give it a host name that you can easily identify with. All right, so here we're going to give it the host name Ubuntu. All right, then here ensure that the SSH keys, whatever is defined here, is the name that you give to your SSH keys. All right, so in our case, we gave it the key label Ubuntu server. All right, okay, so now with that out of the way, you just come here in this section here, ensure that you have selected your preferred billing cycle. Okay, so this for this case I've selected monthly. You can also click and see which billing cycle is available. So here we have monthly and hourly. Okay, so here alternatively you can choose hourly. All right, and once you're done, simply click pay and deploy now. Okay, so your instance will be initiated, and the deployment will be ready in just a few minutes. Okay, so just be patient. All right, as your instance is being deployed. Okay, so down below here you can see the status of your server. So here you can see that the server is being deployed. All right, so at this point I'm going to pause this video, and I'll be back once the server has already been deployed. So the server has successfully been deployed, and this took about 3 minutes. And from the status, you can see it has being labeled active. Okay, so now once the server has been deployed, you get a confirmation email on the same. Okay, now to get more information about your server, simply click on it here. So here you're going to get all the information regarding your server, starting with the login credentials. So you get here the username and the password, and take note that the password is only available for 24 hours. So down below you can get all the information about your server, including the hardware and the network information. All right, now the next step is to connect to the server via the SSH key that we deployed. All right, so now we are going to copy the IP address, which is the public IP. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to head over back to my Linux workstation. So here I'm going to clear the screen. Okay, now to log in, I'm going to use the SSH protocol. So I'm going to say SSH root at now the public IP of the Ubuntu server. Okay, then I'm going to use the -i option to specify the path of the private key. Okay, so here .ssh /id _ RSA. All right, so this is the private key. So I'm going to hit enter. All right, so if this is your first time, of course this is the first time, you'll be prompted, you will find this prompt. Okay, so to continue connecting, simply type yes and hit enter. Okay, so that host has been added to the non-hosts, and here we are. So we have successfully connected to our instance. Okay, now one of the things that you might need to do is to update the local cache or the package list. Okay, and to do so, simply run the command update. Okay, and hit enter. So this will update the local cache on your system. Okay, so this will take just a few seconds, so just be patient. All right. And we are done. All right, then I'm going to clear the screen. Then the next step is to upgrade all the softwares to their latest versions, and to do so, simply run the command apt upgrade with a -y option. All right, for non-interactive upgrade. So this will upgrade all the software versions to their latest versions. All right. Okay, so as you can see, the upgrade is underway. So once again, just be a bit patient, and this will take just a few seconds to a minute or so. Okay. Okay, so during the upgrade, you might find such a notification. All right, so what you need to do, just hit enter to accept the defaults. So here, once again, I'm going to hit enter. All right. So the upgrade is complete. Now to fully upgrade the server, you simply need to reboot the server, and to do so, simply run the command reboot like this and hit enter. So of course this is going to disconnect you from your remote Ubuntu server. All right, so this will take just a few seconds to reboot. All right, so just wait until the server has fully rebooted. Okay, now to log in back, simply use the SSH command that we used earlier on. All right, so here I'm going to once again hit enter. So this will log us back in without any issue. Okay, so as you can see, we are now back in. So the next step is to disable password authentication, so that the only way we can access the server is through public SSH keys. All right, so now to do so, I'm going to clear the screen and access the default SSH configuration file using the nano text editor. So I'm going to specify now the path of the SSH configuration file, which is etc sshd _config and I'm going to hit enter. All right, so here you can see we have accessed the SSH key configuration file. Now you need to scroll and look for the password authentication parameter. Okay, so here under authentication, you need to scroll down and look for password authentication. Okay, so here we are. So you need to uncomment this. So I'm going to delete the hash symbol, and I'm going to change this from yes to no. So here I'm going to delete yes, and I'm going to specify no. All right, then I'm going to save the changes. So to do so, I'm going to press Ctrl O, hit enter, then Ctrl X to exit the configuration file. Now to save the changes, simply restart the SSH service. So on your command line, run the command systemctl restart SSH and hit enter. All right, so the changes have been effected, and you can no longer, or nobody can access the server using a password. So the only way to access it is via the public key authentication. All right. Okay, so the other thing you might consider doing is creating a new user. All right, so we're going to create a new user and then later add the user to the sudoers group. So this user will act as a sudo group, and this will be beneficial in future in case you want to be running administrative tasks. As you all know, it's always advisable to have a sudo user configured. So we're going to configure an example sudo user. So first we're going to add a user. So we're going to use the add user command, and we're going to provide the name Bob. So I'm going to hit enter. All right, so here the script will walk you through a few prompts. Okay, so provide the new password for the user Bob. Okay, then I'm going to confirm this, and I'm going to hit enter. So here you can provide the full name Bob, and for the remaining prompts you can just hit enter to escape. Okay, so finally hit Y or press Y and hit enter to save the information. All right, okay, so the user has already been created. Okay, now you can add the user to the sudo group, okay, to make it a sudo user. So to do so, you can use this user mode command with the -ag flag, then specify the sudo group, and finally the user, which is Bob. Okay, that's done. All right, so now you can use the groups command to confirm the groups that the user belongs to. Okay, so here you can see Bob belongs to the primary group, which is Bob, and the secondary group, which is sudo. Okay, and just to test the user, we can switch to the user. So I'm going to use the su-bob. Okay, all right, so let's run the update command, sudo apt-update. apt-update. Then I'm going to provide the password. So as you can see, the user Bob can now run administrative tasks. Okay, and since we have already updated the system, there isn't much to do. Okay, now I'm going to exit from the user. All right, so far we have deployed the server. Okay, now the last thing that is remaining is to enable automatic updates, and you can do so using the command systemctl status unattended upgrades.service. So this is going to check if the service is this is going to enable automatic updates. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter. All right, so you can see the service is running as expected. All right, so this will ensure that your system is constantly being updated. All right, so this brings us to the end of this tutorial. So in this tutorial, we have covered how to install Ubuntu server on Cherry servers. Okay, and we have created, we have deployed a VPS, okay, to demonstrate that. And this will also apply to a dedicated server. So that's it about this tutorial. We hope you found this insightful. So see you in the next tutorial.